see a new unit. The name of the unit is Trignometry. Usually whenever we start any unit, we start with meaning and definition of that unit. So when you compare up to these days, how many units we have learned? Compared to that, this unit is entirely different. So this is a unit which you are going to have a use in your higher classes. Immediate next class, if some students are going to have a science, completely upper part of the trigonometry will be learned there. This is a part we are going to have a make use of in the next year. Okay, trigonometry. What actually we are going to learn in this unit? Before that, let us see what is the meaning of a trigonometry. Here, trigonometry is made up of 3 words. How many words it is made up of?
3 words.
Trigonometry. Here, tri means everyone is knowing. Tri means what?
3.
Tri means 3. Gono means size. And metry means measurement. So, trigonometry is basically a Greek word. Which word?
Greek word.
Greek word. So now we come to know that what is trigonometry. Trigonometry is nothing but a 3 sides measurement. So let us see the definition what actually the trigonometry means. Here trigonometry is nothing but, in which way we can define that it is nothing but a solution of a right angle triangle. What it is?
Solution of right angle triangle.
Now the question arises that solution of a right angle triangle means what? Solution is nothing but, you have already seen that board we have been seen before the classes where you have learned in the 9th standard during equations 2 variables, again in the quadratic equation, solutions is nothing but the values of x. Here solutions of right angle triangle means measure of angle and sides of a right angle triangle. Everyone got that an idea?
Yes, sir.
What is the solution of a right angle triangle means? Anybody? Anyone has to say. Or else I will repeat once again. A solution of a right angle triangle is nothing but getting or finding the sides or angles of a right angle triangle. That is the meaning of solution of a right angle triangle. Anybody? Who is going to answer? Yes, Viresh.
Finding the right angle.
Once again.
Finding the right angle triangles, angles and sides.
Exactly, right. Now we come to know that what actually the meaning of trigonometry is. Now the question arises that why there is a need to learn the trigonometry? Why we have to learn the trigonometry? So there should be have some applications or use of learning this unit. So where actually we are using this unit, that's what we are going to see now. Here in trigonometry, basically the main use of trigonometry is to find height and distance. In which terms we are going to use it? Basically, the first application of trigonometry is nothing but the finding the height and distance. And one of the advantage of having a trigonometry is that it is having a more advantage. Already we have seen that in the Pythagoras theorem, right? We have learned about the right angle triangle where we are knowing the definitions also, what it states, all things we are knowing. But in the Pythagoras theorem, it is having certain limitations and drawbacks. What it is that if we are knowing any two of the sides, we can find other sides. But there is some advantage of finding the two sides if we are knowing one acute angle. I will tell you that what is meant by acute angle. If we are knowing one angle, one side, the rest of all the sides and angles can be found. That is the advantage of trigonometry. I hope it is clear. What is the drawbacks of Pythagoras theorem and what is the advantages of trigonometry? I will repeat it once again. That advantage of trigonometry over the Pythagoras theorem is the Pythagoras theorem they require two sides to find out the other side. But in trigonometry, if we got angle and a side, we can find rest of the angles and sides. That is the advantage of trigonometry. Now you come and again, where is the application? In which field we are using trigonometry? Trigonometry can be used in all the field of engineering. You take any engineering, okay, whether it is a musical engineering, whether it is a navigation, whether it is electronics, whether it is a survey, in all the departments, whether it is architecture, see, we are using the trigonometry. That is the one of the best thing what we are making use of trigonometry in the entire field of the engineering. Okay. Now you come to know that what is the meaning of trigonometry, how it has been derived from the Greek word, we are splitting of 3 words, and what is its application, how it is having advantage over Pythagoras theorem. After learning these all things, I am coming to the point that we are going to have a connection from similar triangles to trigonometry. How the similar triangles are using in a trigonometry. Whether you got it, what I have said?
Yes.
Okay. See, one thing is that this is a right angle triangle. I have told you that what all we are learning in trigonometry is nothing about so in this right angle triangle, and there is another right angle triangle, right? So what is the difference? Difference I have asked. What? Exactly. So I have said, by visual itself you are able to tell that one is what, other is regression. I don't think in terms of others. Okay. Now, already you have learned similar triangles, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here, you have to tell me that which of the criteria I am making use of. See here 90 degrees there, here 90 degrees, obviously.
Yes.
That's similar, right? So what I am going to make use of that any one of the angle, that is rest of the two angles. Now one is 90 means other two has to be acute. Why? Yes, sure. Angle sum property. Tell me the neat way. Why it is why the other two angles are acute?
Sum of all angles of the triangle is equal to 180.
Yes, Aditya.
According to Anderson property, in triangle 180 degrees, angles.
My
sum of
question
angles-
is why the rest of the two angles are acute? That's it.
Because
Krishna.
According to Anderson property, sum of a triangle is 180.
Okay, everyone is doing that.
If one angle is 90, then
The
other
rest of the two has to be
90.
less than 90.
less than
If it is less than 90, it has to be acute. If you have said this is the word less than 90, I would have accepted your answer. Sit down. Okay. Here, the rest of the this angle and this angle and this angle and this angle are acute angles. Accepted?
Yes.
You need to repeat me once again.
No, sir.
Okay. Here we come to know that among these two rest of angles and these two rest angles, they are called as acute angle. Why? Because they are less than 90. Why? Because already one of the angle is 90. Now, I am going to say that this is theta. Here in trigonometry, the new term, that is also Greek word, we call it as theta. What we call it as?
Theta.
We write it in this way. Okay. So that is called as theta. Here theta is nothing but acute angle. What does it mean?
Acute angle.
Say that it is theta and this is a theta. I am going to say that the two triangles are similar. Why?
Yeah.
Very good. See. Yes, similar. Based on this concept, the trigonometry has been applied. What we are going to see here that once they are similar, what next we can say? Anybody? Anyone? Yes, ma'am.
measures are
Which measures? The statement should be clear. Sides? Sides are proportional. Exactly, that's what I needed. Sides ratios are equal. Whether you are getting an idea? What I
Yes,
said?
sir.
See, what I have told that by these things I have proved that they are similar. Once they are similar, their sides ratios are equal. What I am trying to say you that based on this thing or based on this idea, we are using whatever may be the size of a triangle, whatever may be the but if the acute angle is same, their corresponding ratios are always equal. That's what we are making use of in a trigonometry. Whether understood what I said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, next thing is what we call for different three sides with respect to trigonometry. See, when we have learned the Pythagoras theorem, we have been given a different names for the different sides of a triangle. So the biggest side was the down side and the okay. Now the names will be changed. See, this is what? It's a right angle. Here it starts. From here, everything should be known to you. Okay, up to here, there is no chance that this can be asked in the examination. But those are the basics. Now that's what I am going to start. That what I am going to start is completely important and that has to be entered in your brain. Okay, now what I am trying to tell you that how the names of a triangles are being given with respect to right angle triangle. Here, when it was Pythagoras theorem, this is the longest side. We were calling it as hypotenuse. Yes or no?
Yes,
That is what is called as a height. It's called as
base.
height. Now, here in the trigonometry, we are going to give a different names with respect to. With respect to means with reference to that. What is with respect to means? Okay, here with respect to this acute angle, already I have told why it is acute angle, because it is the 90. With respect to that theta, how the different sides names are being given, that should be known to you. The side opposite to the known angle. Sometimes I call it as a known angle, theta. Sometimes I call it as the acute angle. They all are same. Sometimes I call it as a theta. Okay, here the side opposite to the theta is called as opposite side. Got it? Opposite something. And the longest side is opposite to the 90 degree. The longest side is opposite to 90 degree, called it as hypotenuse. So this is opposite side, this is hypotenuse, and the rest side which is left. See the words I am using. And the right side which is left means that which is remained. Okay, which is not used. That is called as adjacent side. So you need to remember this. The side which is opposite to the theta is called as opposite side. The side. Students will have a log that always that which is a perpendicular, right? That is not always a opposite. Okay, with respect to theta it changes. I am going to show you another case. Suppose if you are having a theta here at the vertex. Okay, I have not asked the questions now. If I give the name as D, E and F, the students will say that D is the opposite. Is it right?
No, sir.
Why is wrong? Why is wrong? Because it is yes. We have given the name of a sides of a triangle with respect to whom?
Theta.
Where is theta now? D. So it opposite to this angle. Who is there? D. So we call it as opposite side. There is no difficulty in finding the hypotenuse. Is it there any difficulty to find the hypotenuse? No, it's not difficult. Whether it is a Pythagoras theorem, whether it is a trigonometric ratios, the hypotenuse is hypotenuse. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is someone is actually adjacent. That is what? Hypotenuse. And who is left now? D. This is nothing but adjacent. Okay, now you are clear with respect to theta how the name of the sides will change. Right? Okay, now see the next part. What we are going to start is how many ratios are there with respect to the right angle triangle. It makes three sides. How many ratios I can make? So we can make 6 ratios. How many ratios we can make? 6. Usually you know that whenever a new person came into your family, you are going to give a name for them. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, for all the 6 ratios, we have given a name for them, and that with respect to that name, what is this ratio? It should be remembered. Then only you are able to apply the ratios for any given right angle triangle. See here, the first, I'm not going to give a name for them. First, I'm going to write what are the 6 ratios. Name for it.
6 ratios.
See, the first one is, can I write it as opposite? Just I'm going to write OBPO. It stands for
Opposite.
And HYPO.
Hypotenuse.
Read it as not HOPO and hypo. Just you have to read it as opposite by hypotenuse. Okay. Now the first ratio is opposite by hypotenuse. The second ratio is
Adjacent by hypotenuse.
The third ratio is opposite by adjacent. Okay. These are the first 3 ratios. Now, can we make the reciprocal of these ratios?
Yes, sir.
When you make the reciprocals of these ratios, what you get? Totally 6 ratios you are going to get. So, what is the reciprocal of this? You get hypotenuse by
Opposite.
and the next one is hypotenuse by
Adjacent.
similarly now we come to know that all of the 6 ratios are there. Now let us give a name for them. Okay, the first thing what I have written, the ratio's name is with respect to theta, that is sine theta. What is that?
Sin theta.
Okay, now the question arises, what is this sine theta? Sine is in English you will spell it as sin. Here we have to spell it as sine. Why we have to spell it as sine? Why? Because it is complete form is SINE, not sine. What is that complete? So for this, in short, whenever you have a small child in your home, suppose if you are having the name, you are going to give him a nickname, right?
Yes, sir.
In a short way. In that terms, we have given him a nickname as what?
Sin.
The next one is cos. Cos. Complete name is cosine. What is the complete name of cosine? So this is what this complete name is sine. And cos complete name is
Cosine.
we write it as just cos theta. We call it as a cos theta, but actually its complete name is cosine. The next thing is tan. Tan. The next, this ratio name is tan, but his complete name is tangent. Already where we have heard this name? What is tangent? There is no need to tell now. Okay, we in short we write it as tan theta. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so the next is cosec. What is that?
Cosec.
Cosec complete name is cosecant. What is that?
Cosecant.
What we have learned about cosecant. So this is nothing but cosec
Theta.
Next is sec. The complete name is secant. Secant, you know the meaning of that.
Yes, sir.
So this is what secant theta. The last one is cot. Cot theta. We call it as cotangent. So full name is also required. You should know that what actually the shortcuts and the complete name means. Okay. Here, what actually we have to remember? Now the question arises that you come to know that what are the names of the different ratios and how they are. So what you have to remember is sine means opposite by hypotenuse, cos means adjacent by hypotenuse, tan means opposite by adjacent, cot means adjacent by opposite, sec means hypotenuse by adjacent, and cosec means hypotenuse by opposite. Complete in your brain, it should be there. I will give you up to tomorrow. This has to be by heart.
Yes.
Right? Okay, let us have one drill now. So what you need to tell that, repeat it me, okay now. Sine is opposite by hypotenuse.
Sine is opposite by hypotenuse.
Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse.
Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse.
Tan is opposite by adjacent.
Tan is opposite by adjacent.
Okay. See, one more thing I would like to tell that the reciprocal, I will tell you now, reciprocal relation. The reciprocal of sine is cosec. You can see, this is what opposite by
Hypotenuse.
it is what hypotenuse by opposite. Is it reciprocal or not?
Yes, sir.
So here adjacent by hypotenuse by adjacent. Here opposite by adjacent. Here adjacent by opposite. It clearly shows that sine reciprocal is cosec, cos reciprocal is sec, tan reciprocal is cot, cot reciprocal is tan, sec reciprocal is cos, cosec reciprocal is sine. In these terms you should be able to tell. Okay, now I am going to tell you those what only I am going to take the name. You need to tell very fast. Okay, sine, tan. You have taken the first adjacent. I have been told you tan, not okay, we have start once again. Sine. Okay, there should be a coordination. Cot. Sec. Cot. Sine. Tan. Very good, very good. Tomorrow you should be able to tell individually. Now I am going to give the. So these are called as trigonometric ratios. What we call it as?
Trigonometric ratios.
Okay, now After learning the trigonometric ratio, the next part what we have to learn is that is reciprocal relations. What is that?
Reciprocal relations.
Reciprocal relations. So already I have told, but how we have to write the reciprocal relation? See, the sign we have to write is sin theta is equal to 1 by whereas cosec theta is 1 by sin theta. If you need to prove this, okay, how can I prove that sin is 1 by cosec? Let me see here. What we have to bring? We have to bring x is equal to RHS to show that they are equal. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let us write here sin theta. You know it is opposite by
Hypotenuse.
1 by cosec theta is there. 1 by cosec is means what? Hypotenuse by opposite. Hypo by opposite. Okay. What do you get when you reciprocal that? You get hypotenuse. So what we call for that? Yes or no?
Yes,
So we have to prove that 1 by cosec is nothing but again a sine. So in this way you can come to know that why sine is 1 by cosec. Whether you got it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any need to prove those all rest of the reciprocal relation?
No, sir.
I'm going to accept directly, right?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yeah.
Once we have proved, it means it's going to be applied for rest of the things, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cosec, cos is a reciprocal. Sec reciprocal. And tan theta reciprocal. Cot reciprocal. Okay, these are the reciprocal relations. I'm telling you, this is nothing. It is not being restricted to this exercise. Even when we are going for the fourth exercise, there we are making use of these all things. If you won't remember this, I'm telling you, you are not going to learn any basic. Okay, now we have learned about the reciprocal relation. The next thing what we have to learn is quotient relation. What is that?
Quotient relation.
Quotient relation. You believe or not, I'm telling you, these all are very important when it comes to the trigonometric identities. It comes to the fourth exercise. We are making use of reciprocal relations, quotient relations in a large manner. And if you are not being thorough with these things, I'm telling you, you are not going to learn any trigonometry. Okay, now, quotient relation is, the first quotient relation is about tan theta. Just I'm going to write that, later on that, I'm going to prove that how it is, right? Okay. Tan theta is nothing but sin theta by cos theta. What is that?
Sin theta by cos theta.
Yes, you can simply say that tan is nothing but sin by cos. If you have to avoid the theta, okay, you can just call it as tan is nothing but sin by cos. But you have to tell me that what? Tan is nothing but sin theta by cos theta. Okay, now cot theta. What is that?
Cos theta.
Cot theta is nothing but cos theta divided by sin theta. So there are only two quotient relations. One is related to tan, other is related to cos. Tan is equal to sin by cos. Cot is equal to cos by sin. Okay, now we shall prove that why tan is sin by cos. Tan theta is equal to, we have said that sin theta by
Cos theta.
What is sin ratio? So this is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse. What is cos theta? Adjacent by hypotenuse. Now, what is the thing that it will be cancelled? Why it is cancelled? The upper part and the lower part, it means numerator denominator, they are on the denominator. So you can cancel. So once you cancel, what you are left with? Is it by? What is opposite by adjacent? So we have to write it is equal to RHS. That is clear or not? Just we have to repeat once again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we prove that tan is equal to sin by cos. I need to prove that cot is cos by sin. Right. Accepted. What? Accepted because it is universal truth, right? Okay. Now let us have a drill on how to tell sine 1 by cosec. Just listen me how we have to tell those. Later on you can repeat it with me. Later I will ask you individually. Okay. The reciprocal relation, once you have start, you have to tell that sine is equal to 1 by cosec, cosec is equal to 1 by sine, tan is equal to 1 by cot, cot is equal to 1 by tan, and sec is equal to 1 by cos, cos is equal to 1 by sec. In this you have to tell, right? Sine theta is 1 by cosec theta. Cosec theta is equal to 1 by sine theta. Tan theta is nothing but 1 by cot theta. Cot theta is nothing but 1 by tan theta. Sec theta is nothing but 1 by cos theta. Cos theta is nothing but 1 by sec theta. Now I am going to ask randomly. Okay, let's see that how much you have sine. Okay, just tell 1 by cosec. There is no need to tell it. Sine. 1 by cosec. 1 by tan. 1 by cot. 1 by sec. 1 by cos. 1 by sec. 1 by cos. Sine. 1 by cosec. Tan. 1 by cot. 1 by tan. Sec. 1 by sine. Cos. 1 by sec. 1 by cos. Yeah, once also you have not done mistakes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, now up to here, what we have learned is the basics of the first exercise. What we have learned?
Basics of first exercise.
You know, whenever I start with the unit, I used to tell something. You know, what is that? But you know, today we have that. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to know that how many marks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, one more thing I have left to say. One of the finest unit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No?
Yes, sir.
You believe me or not, it is, you know that when it comes to the arithmetic, we are doing what? Minus, plus, into big calculation. You know, surface area values is there, area between circles is there. Apart from when you compare those units to these units, this is heaven. What is this unit? Heaven. This is heaven. Why do you know this is heaven? You know, there is no multiplication, nothing is there. Just what we have to play with the formulas. I am telling you, the next year you will have thousands together formulas. Yes. The trigonometry you are going to have next year. So there, if you want to have a firm foundation, you should be clear with these all things. Okay, right now let's come to know that. Come to how much marks is there for this unit. 5 to 6 months. I have been told you that why I am being telling 1 marks extra every time. You know that every time I will tell you that 7 to 8, not fixed. Why? Because this after I think 4 years back it has been changed. Theme-based question papers blueprint has been started. So in that themes we can't tell specifically that this unit is going to have this much marks itself. But approximately you can say that 5 to 6 marks is there in this unit. So how much marks you are going to have here? 5 to 6 marks. How he is going to have a division of these marks? So 1 marks question is fixed. Plus 2 means how much marks? 5. This is the case when you are going to have 5 marks. In other case, what you will ask? 1 plus 2 plus 3. This is nothing but case of a 6. This is how he is going to answer questions. Now, after having that idea that how many marks it is there in annual examination, let us have a discussion on that. Which part of a unit you are going to have how much marks? In the first, what I have told right now is related to the complete the first exercise, and our first exercise is completely nil or with respect to you all. Why? Because nothing is there. If you are knowing these all things, these all relations, you are able to solve the problem. I am going to take the examples also right now. And how much marks you can ask on this part what we have learned just now? 1 to 2 marks. How much marks you are going to have? 1 to 2 marks you are going to have in the annual examination. 1 marks means you are going to have a direct question, and 2 marks means I will tell you how he is going to ask. And here it is left of what 1 and 2 marks. Second exercise is related to the standard angles. What is that? Standard angles. Standard angles, there you are going to learn 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. Then we shall select how we are going to relate that. There, if he asks the questions, it will be of 2 marks, as 1 marks. And third part is complementary angles. There, if he asks from complementary angles, he has to stick for the only 1 marks, and if he asks for the direct question. And the last part, the most fascinated, the most important one, and the most typical or difficult part, you can tell it. Many children will struggle in that. That is identities, and on that topic, it is sure that you are going to have a question. So, what would I say?
Yes.
You know that I have been saying when we have started area related to circles. I have told you the third exercise is most useful. Many question paper you have seen.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir? No.
Yes, sir.
Same manner, the fourth exercise you are going to have an examination for 2 to 3 months. For that, if you want to be clear means you should know all the formulas. Right. Coming to the topic now. This was our discussion about question paper. Now let us see one examples. That's what we have learned. So, in which way you can ask the questions on this part? That is, he will give that if sine theta is equal to 4 by 5, then find cos theta and tan theta. I am telling you, this carries 2 marks. How much marks it carries?
2 marks.
So, in which way we have to solve the example? B here, B here, B here. So, whenever we are putting the ratios, means we are putting the ratios to human being. Isosceles triangle. Everyone is here. So, whenever you have got a problem in such way, what we have to do is we have to draw a right angle triangle and just mark one of the angle triangle has theta. Why? Because he has given the theta there. Marking that, you have to put sine theta. What actually sine theta means? Here we start. So, this is what the right angle triangle is, or no?
Yes, sir.
You can give the name or else you can leave it also. Okay. But I am going to give the name here. Since we need to find one more side. This is A, B, C. Which is the right angle?
B.
Which means I can put A has theta.
C has theta.
But sometime, what he does, he will give that there is a right angle triangle ABC and he will give sine A. Once he gives sine A, right here A.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I am telling you, sine A. I am not put right angle at A, right angle at B. If it is sine A, it's better to write the acute angle as vertex or base.
Base.
Why? It becomes easy, right? So here I am going to write theta. I have mentioned you. Why? Okay, who is the opposite here?
AB.
Who is the adjacent?
BC.
Who is the hypotenuse?
AC.
Now, wow, be here. What he has given? Sine is opposite by hypotenuse. Yes, sir. See
Yes,
that?
sir.
I am telling you, if you are not doing this, you are not going to apply these things here. So what is that? Opposite by
hypotenuse.
Yeah, it is opposite.
Yes, sir.
Why it is opposite?
Theta.
Theta. I thought that somebody is going to ask that why it is opposite. No. Okay. It is opposite side. Why? Because it is against the theta. So AB means here I am writing it is opposite. Opposite. This is opposite, right?
Yes, sir.
Hypotenuse. Who is hypotenuse?
AC.
Whether what happens is come to know or not.
Yes, sir.
If you are able to write this much, 90% of your work is done. Got that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I need to find cos means I need adjacent, right?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
have what adjacent?
No, sir.
How can I find adjacent? You know that the most influential, already I have told that in the world most influential equations, one is Pythagoras.
Yes.
Okay, then we are going to use the Pythagoras theorem. There is no need to tell what is the statement of the theorem. Who is going to apply the Pythagoras theorem? Very good. Who is going to? Yes, Divya.
AC square is equal to A square.
AC square plus?
BC square.
Okay, thank you. Sit down. Now AC is how much?
5.
AB is
4 square.
plus
BC square.
I square is
25.
minus 16 is equal to BC square is equal to 9. BC is equal to how much you got?
3.
Now, once you have got the third side, we were knowing only two sides. Once you have got the third side, we are able to find out the rest of the trigonometric ratios.
Yes.
So, what I need to find cos theta.
Cos theta.
Now, tell me, what is cos theta? Both adjacent by
Hypotenuse.
who is adjacent here?
3.
BC. Who is adjacent?
BC.
Or else you can say 3. Who is hypotenuse?
AC.
Write in this way. What is BC here?
3.
By
5.
1 marks you have got. For writing one ratios, you are going to get 1 mark. The next ratio, who is that? Tan theta is nothing but opposite by adjacent. Who is opposite? Who is opposite? Who is adjacent? Opposite is 4. Is there any difficulty in this part? Even though the students will not solve these kind of problems, I am telling you, if you are not being ahead at this, you are not going to have any such problems understanding. Okay, sir, next question. Okay, up to here what we have seen is what is the trigonometry, how it has been came, what are its application, what actually trigonometry means, what are the trigonometry ratios, reciprocal relations and coefficient relations, and how the examples are going to be asked in the examinations. Okay, tomorrow we are going to continue with the exercise.
Yes.